Okay, today I am going to discuss about the nominal pi method. Okay, it is the last type of method in the case of a middle transmission line. Okay, basically the medium transmission line is divided into three parts. Okay, that is first one is the end condenser method, second one is the nominal T method, and third one is the nominal pi method. Okay, the end condenser method and nominal methods are discussed in previous classes. Okay, now in present class, I am going to discuss about the nominal pi method. Okay, nominal pi method. It is also called as the split condenser method. Okay, it is also called as the split condenser method. Okay, by using this method, by using this method we find out the efficiency and regulation. Okay, by using this method we find out the efficiency and regulation of a transmission line. Okay, next coming to the contents in this today's class, that is first one is the introduction to the nominal pi method or split condenser method. First, what is meant by the nominal pi method? And that all will be discussed in the introduction topic. Next, equivalent circuit diagram of a nominal pi method. Next, phasor diagram, voltage regulation and efficiency of a pi method. That all will be observed in present class. Okay, next first topic, that is introduction to the nominal pi method or middle condenser method. Okay, introduction to nominal pi method or middle condenser. Sorry, it is also called as the split condenser method, not middle condenser method. The nominal pi method is called as the split condenser method. 1 minute. It is the split condenser method. Okay, it is split condenser method. Okay, the nominal pi method of a medium transmission line means the series impedance of the line is concentrated at the center. Okay, in this case, the series impedance is concentrated at the center of a transmission line. Okay, in the previous case of nominal T method, in the previous case, the nominal T method, in that case, the impedance will be divided into two halves. Okay, the impedance will be divided into two halves. Okay, but in the case of nominal pi method, the impedance is concentrated at the center of the capacitance. Therefore, the capacitance is divided into two halves. Okay, therefore, the capacitance is divided into two halves. At each end, we are connecting the capacitance. The first half is connected at the sending end side and second half is connected at the receiving end side. Okay, receiving end side. The nominal pi method is also called as the split condenser method. Okay, the nominal pi method is also called as the split condenser method. Okay, by using this method, we find out the efficiency and voltage regulations. Okay, the nominal pi method is also called as the split condenser method. Why it is called as split condenser method? In that the capacitance value will be splitted. Okay, that's why we are called as the split condenser method. Okay, basically the medium transmission line is divided into three parts on the basis of a capacitance. Okay, on the basis of the capacitance, the medium transmission line is divided into three types. Okay, that's why we are called as the end condenser method. End means that the capacitance is connected at the end of the transmission line. That is the first one. Next, what is the second one? That is the middle condenser method. Okay, that is the middle condenser method. Okay, what is meant by middle condenser method? The capacitance is connected at the middle of the transmission line. Okay, the capacitance is connected at the middle of the transmission line. It is called as the middle condenser method. Okay, next last one is the nominal pi method. In that method, it is also called as the split condenser method. Okay, it is also called as a split condenser method. Why it is called as split condenser method? The capacitance is splitted two parts. At the middle of this capacitance, we are connecting the impedance. At the middle of this capacitors, we are connecting the impedance. Okay, the capacitance is splitted. That's why we are called as the split condenser method. And also the shape of the impedance and the capacitances are connected in the shape of a pi method, are connected in the shape of a pi method. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, it is called as the split condenser method. Okay, the nominal T method is called as the nominal pi method is called as the split condenser method. Okay, basically on the connection of the capacitance, the medium transmission line is divided into three parts. Okay, that is the end condenser method, middle condenser method, and also split condenser method, Okay, split means that the capacitance is splitted in two parts. Split condenser method means that the capacitance is splitted in two parts. That's why it is called as the split condenser method. That's why we are called as the split condenser method. Okay, next one is the this is the equivalent circuit diagram of a nominal T method. Okay, equivalent circuit diagram of a nominal T method. This is the equivalent circuit diagram. In that case, the capacitance is splitted. That is C by 2 and also C by 2. That is C by 2 and also C by 2. We are consider as the points, that is A, B. At the receiving end, we are taking the AB points. At sending end, we are taking the CD points. In that CD point, we are connecting the half of the capacitance, and AD point, we are connecting the another half of the capacitance. At the middle, we are connecting the impedance. Okay, by seeing this diagram, the shape of this impedance and the capacitance values are like pi shape. Okay, like pi shape. This is the pi shape. The shape of this impedance and capacitance are like pi shape. Then it is called as the nominal pi method. Okay, by observing this diagram, the impedance and capacitances are connected like pi shape. Then it is called as the nominal pi method or the split condenser method. Okay, nominal pi method or the split condenser method. Okay, this is the equivalent circuit diagram for the nominal pi method. Okay, so in that case, Vs is the sending end voltage and Is is the sending end current, and C is the capacitance, half of the capacitance, and ICD is the current flowing this capacitance, and I is the line current. I is the line current, R is the resistance, X is the reactance, and Z is the impedance. Okay, next another C by 2 is the next half of the capacitance, that is IAB. IAB is the current flowing this capacitance. Next one is the IR. IR means the receiving end current. VR is the receiving end voltage. Okay, this is the equivalent circuit diagram for the nominal pi method. The connection, while observing this diagram, the shape of the impedance and capacitances are connected in pi shape. That's why it is called as the nominal pi method. Okay, that's why we are called as the nominal pi method. Next one is the equivalent circuit diagram. In that equivalent circuit diagram, while we are observing the Z is the series impedance of the line. Okay, Z is the series impedance of the line. That is, Z is equal to the R plus JX. Okay, where R is the resistance and X is the reactance. Okay, the receiving end voltage is represented as the VR. Okay, the receiving end voltage is represented as the VR. Next one is the receiving end current, that is IR. Okay, the current drawn by the receiving end capacitor. Okay, that is the ICR. IAB is equal to the ICR. ICR means the current flowing through the receiving end capacitor. Okay, in that equivalent circuit diagram, it is represented by the IAB, where IAB is equal to the ICR. ICR means the current flowing through the receiving end capacitor. That is the ICR. Next, the current drawn by the sending end capacitor, that is ICS. Okay, the current drawn by the sending end capacitor, that is the ICS. Okay, next, in that equivalent circuit diagram, that ICS is equal to the ICD. Okay, next one is the line current. Line current is the IL. In that circuit diagram, we represent the I. I is equal to the IL. IL means the line current. Okay, the current flowing through this line is called as the IL. Next one is the sending end voltage, that is Vs. This is the sending end voltage, that is Vs. Next one is the sending end current, that is IS. This is the equivalent circuit diagram and parameters for the nominal pi method. Okay, Vs is the sending end voltage, IS is the sending end current, and ICB is equal to the ICS. That is the current flowing through the sending end capacitance. Okay, the current flowing through the sending end capacitance is equal to ICS. ICS is equal to the ICB. Next one is the I is equal to the IL, that is the line current. Next one is the R and the X, resistance and reactance, that is equal to Z, where Z is equal to the R plus JX. Next, this is the another half of the capacitance, that is C by 2. Okay, in that the current flowing through this capacitance is the ICR. ICR is equal to the IAB. Next one is the IR. IR is the receiving end current. Next one is the VR. VR is the receiving end voltage. Okay, this is the equivalent circuit diagram for the nominal pi method of a medium transmission line. Okay, nominal pi method of a medium transmission line. Okay, next one is the equivalent circuit diagram. Next one is the phasor diagram. First, taking VR as a reference phasor. phasor. At an angle of phi r, we draw the at an angle of phi r, we draw the IR. At an angle of phi r, we draw the IR. Okay, at an angle of 90 degrees, we are taken as the ICR. By sum of this IR and ICR, it is equal to the IL. By sum of this ICR and ICR and IR is equal to the IL. This is the IL. That is not represented. Okay, this is the IL. IL, that is the line current, IL. IR plus ICR is equal to the IR. Okay, at an angle of 90 degrees, we are draw the ICS, that is the current flowing through the sending end capacitance. By adding this IL and ICS, then we obtain the IS. Okay, this already we observed in the equivalent circuit diagram. This already we observed in the equivalent circuit diagram. Once go to the equivalent circuit diagram, first we write the IS. Okay, IS is equal by applying KCL at this junction point or node point at C. Okay, applying KCL. What is the formula for KCL? KCL is entering currents will be equal to the leaving currents. Okay, what are the entering currents at that point C? The entering currents at that point C is the IS is equal to, what is the leaving currents? That is IL plus ICS. IL plus ICS. Okay, then that IL will be flowing through that A point at A node, that is the entering current to that A node. Then IL is equal to ICR plus IR. IL is equal to ICR plus IR. Okay, that is the representation of the currents in the phasor diagram. First, apply KCL at node point C. Entering currents is equal to leaving currents. These two are the leaving current and this is the entering current. Entering to the node is the IS. IS is equal to the leaving to the node, that is IL. This I is equal to the IL plus ICD. ICD means the ICS. ICD means the ICS. Next, this IL current is flowing through that A point and then apply KCL at this node point. Then what is the entering currents at node A? That is I. I is equal to the IL. I means the IL. Okay, why it is called as IL means at the line, the current flowing through this transmission line is represented as IL. Okay, that's why it is called as the IL. Okay, then IL is equal to the IR. IR is the receiving end current, that is the leaving current plus IAB. Okay, IAB means the ICR. IAB means the ICR. Okay, that will be observed in the phasor diagram. First, taking VR as a reference, at an angle of 90 degrees, we are taking the, at an angle of 90 degrees, we are taking the IR. Okay. Sorry, at an angle of phi r, we are draw the IR. At an angle of 90 degrees, we will draw the ICR. Then the algebraic sum of this ICR and IR is equal to the IL. That is the IL transmission current. The current flowing through transmission line IL is equal to the IR plus ICR. Okay, next at an angle of 90 degrees, we draw the ICS. By adding this ICS and IL, then we obtain the IS. By vector sum of this ICS and IL is equal to the IS. Is equal to the IS. Okay, by projecting this IL, to this VR, then then it is represented as ILR. This is the resistive drop in the transmission line. Okay, ఎప్పుడైతే మన కరెంట్ అనేది ఫ్లో అయిందో then automatically we are having the some voltage drop in the transmission line. Okay, what is the voltage drop in the transmission line due to the resistance is the ILR. Okay, the effect of this ILR is the IL. Okay, the effect of ILR is the IL. That's why by projecting this IL line to the VR, then it is equal to the ILR. Then it is equal to the ILR. Okay, at an angle of 90 degrees, we draw the ILX. Okay, when transmitting the line current to the reactance value, then we obtain some voltage drop. Then we obtain some voltage drop. The voltage drop across that reactance is the ILX. The voltage drop across the reactance is the ILX. Okay, by vector sum of this ILR and ILX is the vector sum of this ILR and ILX is the ILZ. Okay, the vector sum of this ILR and ILX is the ILZ. Okay, by adding this impedance drop to the VR, then we obtain the VS. Okay, then we obtain the VS. Okay, what is the angle between the VS and IS? That is the phi S. Okay, the angle between the VS and IS is the phi S. Okay, this is the phasor diagram for the nominal pi method. Okay, it is also called as the split condenser method. Okay, it is also called as the split condenser method. Okay, first, and again I will explain one phasor diagram. First, we are taking the VR. Okay, this is the VR. Okay, we are taking the VR as the reference. We are taking the VR as a reference. Okay, at an angle of phi r, we draw the IR. Okay, at an angle of phi r, we draw the IR. This is the receiving end current IR. At an angle of phi r, we draw the IR. Okay, at an angle of 90 degrees, we draw the ICS. At an angle of 90 degrees, we will draw the ICR. This is the ICR. Okay, at an angle of 90 degrees, we will draw the ICR. By sum of this, we will draw the, that is IL. Okay, this is the IL. Okay, at an angle of 90 degrees, we draw the ICS. At an angle of 90 degrees, we draw the ICS. Okay, by adding this, we obtain the sending end current. By adding this, we obtain the sending end current. Okay, by projecting this IL, then we obtain the ILR. Then we obtain the ILR. Okay, when the current flowing through this resistance, then we obtain the some drop. Okay, at an angle of 90 degrees, we are obtaining the reactance drop, that is ILX. Okay, that is ILX. Okay, by adding this, we obtain the, then we obtain the ILZ. This is the impedance drop. This is the impedance drop. Okay, okay, by adding this, drop to that line, then it is called as the VS. Okay, then it is called as the VS. Okay, what is the angle between this VS and IS? That is phi S. Okay, that is phi S. The angle between Vs and Is is the phi S. Okay, this is the phasor diagram for the nominal pi method. Okay, this is the phasor diagram for the nominal pi method. First we draw the VR. Okay. Once again, I am explaining this phasor diagram. Okay. First, we draw the VR as the reference. VR as the reference. That point is denoted as the A. Next one is the at an angle of phi r. We are taking the IC. Sorry, at an angle of phi r, we are taking the IR. Okay, at an angle of 90 degrees, we are taken as ICR. Okay, by vector sum of these, then we obtain the IL. Okay, by adding this ICS and the IL, then we obtain the IS. This is the IS. Okay, this is the IS. Okay, and mention this. This is the B, this is the C, and this is the G. Okay, next, due to that IL current flowing through that impedance, then we obtain the some impedance drop. Okay, due to that resistance, we obtain the ILR at an angle of 90 degrees. We obtain the ILX. Why we draw the at an angle of 90 degrees means that this is the inductive nature. Okay, that's why we are writing at an angle of 90 degrees. That is ILX. Okay, that is represented by F notation. Then it is called as the ILZ. By adding this value, the impedance drop to this VR. Then we obtain the VS. Okay, the angle difference between this VS and the IS is the phi S. Okay, the angle between this VS and IS is the phi S. Okay, this is a phasor diagram for the nominal pi method. The phasor diagram and equivalent circuit diagrams are very important in the case of a short and medium transmission line. Okay, by using this phasor diagram and equivalent circuit diagrams, we write down the voltage regulations and efficiency formulas, and also sending end current and receiving end current, sending end voltages, receiving end voltages, that all formulas are obtained by using these phasor diagrams and also equivalent circuit diagrams. Okay, that's why it is very important, in the case of exam point of view also. Okay, this is the phasor diagram. Okay, next, taking VR as a reference phasor. Okay, first we are taking the VR as a reference phasor, that is be represented by OA. Next, where IR lags behind the VR by an angle of phi r. Okay, by an angle of phi r, IR lags the VR by an angle of phi r, that is represented by OB. Okay, next one is the ICR. ICR means the current flowing through the capacitance at the receiving end side. Okay, ICR means the current flowing through the capacitance at the receiving end side. Okay, will lead to the phasor by VR. Will lead to the phasor by VR 90 degrees. Okay, that is equal to the 1/2 omega C VR. Okay, 1/2 omega C VR. Okay, that is represented by BC. Okay, next one is the IL. IL, the line current will be phasor sum of IR and ICR. By observing the phasor diagram and also equivalent circuit diagram, the formula for that IL is equal to the phasor sum of IR and ICR. Okay, that is represented by OC. Next one is that the voltage drop in the line equal to the phasor sum of resistive drop. Okay, that is ILR in phase with the IR. ILR in phase with the IR, that is represented by AD. Okay, next the react to drop ILX in quadrature with the IL. The react to drop ILX in quadrature with the IL, that is represented by DF. Next, the phase voltage at the sending end Vs, the phasor sum of receiving end voltages VR, and the line drops are represented by total OF, is represented by total OF. Okay, the sending end current IS, which is the phasor sum of IL and ICS. Therefore, the sending end current IS is equal to IL and ICS. Okay, IL and ICS. Therefore, that ICS is equal to the 1 by 2 omega VCS. 1 by 2 omega VCS. Okay, next we write down the equations for that. By using these equations, we find out the voltage regulation and efficiency of a nominal pi methods. Okay, by using this equation, we find out the efficiency and voltage regulation of a nominal pi methods. In that, normally in the previous cases also we seen that formulas, there is a small little difference between that formulas. By observing the equivalent circuit diagrams and then write down the various formulas. Okay, in that first one is that taking the receiving end phase voltage, okay, as a reference phasor, taking the VR as a reference, taking VR as a reference. Okay, understand ma? VR as a reference, that is VR is equal to the VR into 1 plus J0. Okay, we are taking the VR as a reference, then VR is equal to VR into 1 plus J0. Next, receiving end are a load current. Receiving end are a load current, that is IR. IR is equal to the IR into cos phi r minus J sin phi r. Okay, then IR is equal to the IR into cos phi r minus J sin phi r. Next, we write down the charging current at receiving end. What is the charging current at receiving end? While observing the equivalent circuit diagram, the current flowing through the receiving end capacitor. Okay, the current flowing through the receiving end capacitor, that is ICR. Okay, the current flowing through the receiving end capacitor, that is ICR. ICR is equal to the half 1 by 2. Why you are considered as half? Half means the capacitance value in the case of a nominal pi method is divided into 2 halves. That's why we are represented, or we multiplied by the half. Okay, then we represent the 1 by 2 into omega C VR. Okay, in the case of a nominal pi method, the capacitance value is divided into 2 halves. Okay, that's why while taking the ICR is equal to the 1 by 2 into omega C VR. 1 by 2 into omega C VR. Okay, next one is the line current, that is the IL. Okay, what is the formula for that line current? Apply KCL at node A. Okay, we already discussed to apply KCL at node A. What is the KCL formula? Entering currents is equal to the algebraic sum of the leaving currents. The algebraic sum of entering currents will be equal to the algebraic sum of the leaving currents. What are the currents entering at that node point A? That is IL. Okay, the current entering at that point A is the IL. Okay, IL is equal to the IR plus ICR. IL is equal to the IR plus ICR, where IL is the current flowing through that line, that is I, that will be represented in the equivalent circuit diagram, that is I. Okay, then IL equal to IR. IR is the receiving end current. IR is the receiving end current plus ICR. ICR is the current flowing through the receiving end capacitor. Okay, ICR is the current flowing through the receiving end capacitor. Okay, meeting end అవుతుందమ్మ, మళ్ళీ జాయిన్ అవ్వండి. ఓకేనా? current entering to the receiving end capacitor. Next one is the sending end voltage, that is Vs. Sending end voltage, that is the Vs. By using the equivalent circuit diagram or the phasor diagram, we observe the Vs value. How to write the Vs? What is the formula for that Vs? By using the equivalent circuit diagram, the formula for that Vs is equal to the receiving end voltage plus drop across the line. Okay, drop across the line. What is the voltage drop across the transmission line? That is the IL into Z. Okay, while observing the equivalent circuit diagram or phasor diagram, then we write down the by observing this sending end voltage, by observing the equivalent circuit diagram or the phasor diagram, we write down the equation for sending end voltage. Okay, therefore Vs is equal to the Vr plus ILZ. Vr plus ILZ. Vr is the receiving end voltage drop. ILZ is the voltage drop across the line. Okay, next one is the substitute this Z value, that is Z is equal to the R plus JX. Okay, and then we also know about the ICS. Substitute that ICS value. ICS is equal to the 1 by 2 omega C Vs. Okay, why you are taking that half means that the capacitance is splitted. That's why we are taken as the 1 by 2 omega C Vs. Okay. Next, the sending end current, that is IS. Okay, and apply KCL at that point C in the given equivalent circuit diagram. Apply KCL at that point in the given circuit diagram, that is IS. IS entering currents will be equal to the IS is equal to the leaving currents. Okay, what are the leaving currents? That is IL plus ICS. ICS is the current flowing through the sending end capacitance. Current flowing through the sending end capacitance. Okay, that is the sending end current. Sending end current IS is equal to the IL plus ICS. IL plus ICS. Okay, these are the various formulas that will be useful for calculating the voltage regulation and efficiency. Okay, by using that Vs, Vr, Is and IR, and then we calculate the voltage regulation and efficiency. Okay, first, what is the meant by efficiency of transmission line? The efficiency of the transmission line is equal to the power delivered to the load by power supplied from the supply end. Okay, the power delivered to the load by power supplied from the supply end into 100. Okay, we already well known about the transmission efficiency, that is, it is the ratio of power delivered to the load by power supplied from the supply end. What is the power delivered? That is VR IR cos phi R. By what is the power supplied? By using the power delivered formula, power supplied is equal to power delivered plus line losses. Okay, power delivered plus line losses. What is meant by, what is the formula for power delivered? That is VR IR cos phi R plus line losses. Then we obtain the efficiency of a nominal pi method type of transmission line. Okay, that is the formula for the efficiency in the case of a nominal pi method. Okay, next coming to the percentage voltage regulation, that is the Vs minus Vr by Vr. Okay, what is meant by Vs? That is the sending end voltage. Vr is the receiving end voltage by Vr into 100. Okay, we already calculated the formula for Vs and the Vr. Okay, what is the formula for Vr? Vr is, sorry, Vs is equal to the Vr plus IL into R plus JX. Okay, what is the formula for this IL? IL is equal to the IR plus ICR. Okay, in that equation, what is the formula for ICR? Okay, ICR is equal to 1 by 2 omega C VR. Okay, what is the formula for this VR? VR is equal to VR into 1 plus J 0. Okay, that is the formula for the VS. Okay, then VS minus VR. Substitute this VR okay, by VR into 100. That is the formula for the voltage regulation in the case of a nominal pi method. Okay, that is the formula for the voltage regulation in the case of a nominal pi method. In that we substitute the Vs, that is Vs is equal to Vr plus IL into R plus Jx. Okay, in that what is the formula for that IL? IL is equal to the IR plus ICR. IL is equal to the IR plus ICR. What is the formula for this ICR? ICR is equal to the ICR is equal to the 1 by 2 omega C VR. Okay, what is that formula VR? VR is equal to VR into 1 plus J 0. Okay, that is the formula for the VS and VR. Okay, the formula for the voltage regulation in any transmission line is the VS minus VR by VR into 100. Okay, what is the VS? VS is the sending end voltage. VR is the receiving end voltage by receiving end voltage into 100. Same as that of we calculate the efficiency in the case of nominal pi method. That is the power delivered. That means the receiving end power PR. PR is equal to the VR IR cos phi R. Okay, we already well known about the VR IR formulas. That is VR is equal to VR into 1 plus J 0. Okay, IR is the IR into cos phi R minus J sin phi R. Okay, this is the formulas for the voltage and the receiving end voltage and the receiving end current. Okay, by using these formulas, we find out the power delivered. Okay, power delivered by power supplied. Power supplied means the power delivered plus line losses. Okay, power delivered means the VR IR cos phi R. This is the VR and this is the IR. Okay, by using these various formulas, we write down the efficiency and voltage regulation formulas and then substitute all the values for that VS, IS and VRIR in that efficiency and the voltage regulation. Then we find out the voltage regulation and efficiency in the case of a nominal pi method. Okay, this is the last method in the case of a medium transmission line. Okay, in each and every 3 cases, the medium transmission line is basically divided into 3 types on the basis of a connection of capacitance. Okay, first one is the end condenser method. In that end condenser method, we are having the separate equivalent circuit diagram and also separate phasor diagram and also separate voltage regulation and efficiency formulas and sending and receiving and sending and currents, receiving and voltages are separated in the case of end condenser method. Okay, why it is called as end? End means that the capacitance is connected at the end of the transmission line. That's why we are called as the end condenser method. Okay, what is the second type of method? That is the nominal T method. The connection for the impedance and capacitance values are connected in the shape of a T. Okay, that's why it is called as the T method. Okay, the nominal T method is also called as the middle condenser method. Okay, why it is called as middle condenser? Middle means the capacitance is connected at the middle of the transmission. Okay, then that's why it is called as the middle condenser method. Okay, what is the last type? That is the nominal pi method. Okay, by observing the equivalent circuit diagram, the transmission line, that is the impedance and the capacitances are connected like pi shape. Okay, while obtaining this pi shape, the capacitance is divided into two halves. Okay, that is the sending end side capacitance and that is the receiving end side capacitance. At the middle, we are connecting the impedance value. Okay, that shape of that impedance and the capacitances are like pi shape. Then it is called as the nominal pi method. Okay, it is also called as the split condenser method. Okay, why it is called as split condenser method? Split condenser method means the capacitance is divided into two halves. Then it is called as the split condenser method. Okay, the capacitance is divided into two halves. Then it is called as the split condenser method. Okay, that is the voltage regulation efficiency for each and every case of a medium transmission line. Okay, this is very important in the exam consideration. Definitely for each and every problem we draw the equivalent circuit diagram and also we draw the phasor diagram for each and every problem. We are having a separate marks for that equivalent circuit diagram. Okay, this is the formulas for the nominal pi method. Okay, this is the various formulas for the nominal pi methods and voltage regulation and efficiency formulas for the nominal pi methods. Okay, అర్థమైందమ్మా?